I did want to give an opportunity to our discussants to say one or two things uh, uh, after hearing all the wonderful talks. Brian Alper is active in EBM on Fire and is leading the initiative, the COCO initiative that you heard about earlier from Lisa and Andre. And Ian is in London where he does machine learning, and you heard about some of his work in Byron's talk. So maybe Brian or Ian?
Sure, thank you. Going to share a set of slides here, very brief, starting with the colorful image of the evolution of location knowledge. And we've experienced this in our lifetime, moving way beyond print into a computable world. It's amazing what we can do with navigation data now. I want to relate that to the automation of systematic reviews, or where we are in the world of knowledge for guidelines and scientific knowledge. Print is still very familiar, and conceptually we organize much of our current workflow based on the print world, and you can understand communicating in print as the shareable value unit being a physical object and a relatively large unit, many pages, containing many knowledge bits in that one large container. We have greatly advanced to digital with the internet, and today digital is really our current platform for dissemination. The shareable value unit is a digital object like a PDF, and it is still a relatively large unit for sharing many knowledge bits in one container. We've just heard about many, many tools that are executable, and these specific software tools allow us to work with a small digital object, micro content, as the shareable value unit, but typically in the constraints of that executable environment, and you have to work with that specific software to get the experience with that specific software. So that's great when you get the tool to work for your need, but to make the next major step change in efficiency, similar to moving from print to digital by making all of that type of data in print now easily shareable across formats, we need to get all of this data from the executable tools and get to the computable level. The computable level has a shareable value unit that is a small digital object, but being able to work across the many executable forms that enables contextualized selection, customizable presentation, reusable dissemination. This will be a widely interactive, interoperable, and integrated possibilities across all of the things that we have been discussing. And what is very exciting now is this is the platform of the near future. Within this calendar year, we will be able to see many of these functional examples of what has been discussed. There is a COVID Knowledge Accelerator, the extension of EBM on Fire, with 10 active working groups. And if you follow the links that were provided in the Q&A and in some of the presentations, you can find the schedule, join any of these working groups. And there are many different developments: systematic meta review project, turning systematic reviews into computable resources to help show how this can be done. Terminology development for code systems for risk of bias maybe would be helpful to work with the robot reviewer and expand the risk of bias terminologies, statistic standards and terminologies, and so on. There's much more going on here than I can discuss in this very brief time.
Thanks, Brian. Ian, did you have anything that you would like to share or add to our conversation today?
Just have reflected on a couple of themes, really. And one thing which struck me through the presentations is this idea of what things could be automatable in the future or not. And I was really interested to see Tom's presentation and his very thoughtful, bespoke mathematical models. And I'm interested to know how that goes along with some of the standardized processes of data recording, and whether we can ever have standardization which will actually feed into these quite thoughtful, bespoke methods of analysis.
Thanks, Ian. I guess we do have to, unfortunately, end it there. And I want to thank all of the speakers and the panelists and the discussants. Thank the funder, Agency for Healthcare Research and Quality, or AHRQ.